Have you ever wondered why certain rules and expectations don't seem to be implemented or followed? Well, I'm Miss Mouchette, and here on the ISTRONG survey, we go around and we're going to investigate why certain rules or expectations are not being followed. And we are going to chat with Miss Bishop to confirm whether these expectations are actual rules that we must follow or not. And where do we go from here? Take a look. So, Ritash, is it better to have your camera on or off during remote learning?
Off.
Vanity, is it better to have your camera on or off?
If you're a student and people won't know because you're new and they won't know who you are.
Awesome. Okay. So Kamani,
Yeah.
during remote learning, do you think it's better to have your camera on or off?
On.
On. So tell us why.
Because it's scary in the dark.
I prefer the camera on. And I prefer the camera on because we want to see our students, we want to see our teachers. It's better to engage. You can show your work. You can really explain yourself, and people can see your emotions and see how you're feeling.
Which one do you think is better, camera on or off?
On, because if your camera's off, then people won't know what you're doing, or if you're even in a class.
I agree with what you're saying. If your camera is off, then you can do whatever you want, but you don't want that because you said yes already. So what's the point of going into class and saying yes, turning your camera off, then doing whatever you want? So I say you should have your camera on.
For me, I personally prefer cameras on because it lets everybody know what we look like. And we all should be able to see each other because by seeing each other, it encourages each other. It lets us know that we're there. And then we can support one another if we cut our cameras on. So it's my suggestion that you do, please cut your camera on.
All right, hello, PS287 family. I'm here with two of our pre-K students,
Hey,
Lola and Carter. Say hi. All right, okay, Carter. So what I want to ask you, do you like the camera to be on or off?
On.
Okay, you both said on. Okay.
I think it's better to have your camera on because I like to see everybody's faces, and when someone's really excited about something, you can see that. And if someone has a question, not only can they raise their hand on Zoom, but they can raise it with their camera on.
Great. Tell us, when you're in remote learning, do you prefer your camera to be on or off?
Off.
You prefer it to be off. Tell us why.
Because my sisters
What about your sisters?
like to mess up my room.
Your sisters like to mess up your room. Okay, and so because of that, you don't want your camera on.
No.
Wow, okay, that's a little deep. How would you feel if it became mandatory for you to have your camera on?
I would have to clean my room first.
You would have to clean your room first? Okay, but it won't be like a big deal though.
Yeah, it won't be a big deal though.
It would be?
No, it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be a big
But
deal.
Well, during remote learning, cameras should be on for a few reasons. The first reason is I know that children are fully engaged if I can see them in the lesson. They're participating, I can see if they're writing, doing their work. I know if they're distracted or not, I can wean them back in. So that's one of the reasons why I needed the cameras on. A second reason is just the human effect. They need to see their teacher, they need to see their friends, and I need to see them. It keeps it very human instead of it being a little robotic. The children are missing the human connection by coming in the building. So if the cameras are on, it's a good way to see your friendly faces, your teacher. It makes them feel more normalized because it's a big experience for them and it's different and it's not what they're used to. And as children, we need to have that human connection.
Mohammed, do you prefer cameras on during remote learning or cameras off?
off because I'd be nervous. And I don't like to do the camera on because I get so much nervous, but I could answer that teachers tell me.
Mr. Day, can you tell us, what would you prefer, camera on or off?
On because I like to see lots of different faces from lots of different grades.
Okay. Hi, Miss Bishop.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for sitting with me. So, inquiring minds want to know, is it an expectation to have your camera on or off during remote learning?
It's definitely an expectation to have camera on. The thing that we need to be mindful of is that during this pandemic, and when we talk about education, we want to make the screen disappear. So how I'm looking at you directly, you can feel that I'm talking to you specifically. So as a learner, I want you guys to take initiative. Turn off your cameras, open your mics when it's time to discuss, and use your voice. Only you have that power. So you diminish your power. It's like when you turn the light off, it gets dark. When you turn your camera off, your understanding gets dark. You get consumed with what's happening near you, and we're not a class again. We're doing everything every day so that every student, every day, every lesson is doing their best. So yeah, cameras have to be on.
Okay, so cameras have to be on. So what happens now? Because there's a bit of a controversy. Some people agree, some people disagree. What happens now? What do we need to do moving forward, starting today, to ensure that everyone has their camera on?
So maybe what we can do, Ms. Michelle, I've been thinking about it, is really thinking about college camera readiness, right? Because the idea of remote learning is not new to college. And each and every one of my students at Tootie said, you already know the mantra, has to read 2 grade levels up, and that's preparing for your college and career. And when you guys work at an engineering firm, you notice I didn't say if, I said when you work at an engineering firm. Your meetings on Zoom, you cannot have your camera off because that makes the screen disappear and it makes what you say even more important. So when you don't put your face to your voice, it's an issue. But you know what, Ms. Michelle, I have to be fair to families. It is uncomfortable for you to see my household. Before I started remote learning, you just went to school, you didn't know what was happening at home, you didn't know if I ironed the kids' clothes, you didn't know if I had the laundry bag on the side, you didn't know if I was able to paint that patch on my wall. Like, all of those things matter. You don't even know if I still have roaches in the background. Like, you know, we have to be honest and transparent. So what I guess I have to say to families, we're not here to judge your home. We're not your aunts, we're not your cousins. We are mandated reporters, and you're absolutely right. But one thing 27 has is the opportunity for everyone to have a voice. So parent support group, reaching out to Ms. Mouchette. You know, these are the things that I do lean on when I hear reports of this doesn't look right. I'd rather do that lean than the lean up, let's get kids out. So that's the transparent. I know families will be looking at this. It's not a matter of how your home looks. I can't come to your house and clean it for you, right? Or I can't come to your house and make it be presentable. But what I can do is support families and let them know we care about your children and we want them in class and we want them to be present in class. How I see your faces, and that's why I'm looking directly at this camera. How I see your faces is the most important thing. I miss my kids, I miss seeing their smiles, and it's important to me. You know, it's just important.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Bishop, for clearing that up. There you have it. It is a school-wide expectation. Your cameras should be on. Thank you.